Western New York is no stranger to being a setting on the silver screen, but there's a new movie filmed all in Rochester set to open in a couple of weeks. The writer, producer, and star of the movie is a Rochesterian. All morning, Ashley Dorsbacher is learning about the film and the local ties to a centuries-old unsolved mystery.
Yeah, we've been talking screamers all morning. The film shot here, edited here. The really cool thing about it, Tom, producer, actor, director. What role don't you have?
Well, I don't direct.
You don't direct. Okay, I made that one up. Filmmaker.
Okay. Yeah, filmmaker. You know, but and I think I did the catering. No, I'm kidding. But the dialogue in the film was improvised. Yeah, we did. Off of I think it was like a 35-page outline. So we knew every scene that we had to get from point A to point B, and we would just, I mean, thankfully, we had actors that knew how to get there, you know, and do it in the right way. So, I mean, we thought it would be an editor's nightmare, but it really wasn't, because we kind of stuck to the same beats that we would hit in every scene, so.
And again, the movie is about screamers. We talk about the internet videos that you're watching, and then all of a sudden they pop up and you scream. Yeah. And this kind of is a little bit around Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the film involves an internet company called Giggler.com, which is really cool because Gigaler, you can actually go to that site and see, like, for the meta kind of behind this story, you can actually, it looks like a working website, but it's not. Yeah. And so you can go there. And so, you know, that company gets these screamer videos, they decide to research them, find a little more, and it leads to this havoc, and it leads to the Jack the Ripper, and you know, and it just kind of sends them down the rabbit hole. So yeah.
Yeah, and we're talking editing and how it was to edit this. Sully, you were the one that put this all together. What was it like with the improvising all of the lines and putting it all together from that aspect?
It was kind of difficult, just because there was so much good stuff. When I first heard they were like, "Oh, we're doing an improvised horror film," and I was like,
great.
Okay. Yeah. But no, the performances were just amazing. Like the characters, and they all actually used their real names too. And they weren't really, I feel like they were also just being themselves. They were kind of directed to just be themselves. Yeah. So it was really easy for them to just get into that character. And like meeting them afterwards, it was just like you already knew who they were and everything. Yeah.
So this is where is this where you edited the whole film over here?
Well, this is the computer I edited it on. I actually edited the computer. I took the whole system home and actually worked from home for just like a month and a half, just kind of like in my office, just no sunlight for like a month and a half, and just screamers.
This was your first horror film.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was awesome. Yeah, it was really, really fun to actually just work on something that was just gonna scare people. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something about horror. I've always liked horror films, so getting to work on something like this, especially just the found footage aspect, like I've always loved films like that. So that was a lot of fun.
And we've been saying found footage a lot. What if folks, if they don't know what found footage is, how do you explain it to them?
Well, it all started with the Blair Witch Project, and you know, it was that kind of thing where somebody found it afterwards, like meaning in Blair Witch Project, they all died, somebody found this footage and put it on the screen. But the problem with a lot of found footage movies lately is that, you know, from the Blair Witch, you have that shaky camera, and, you know, it makes people sick, or it's very tough to watch, and we didn't do that. You know, we had it so it was more of a documentary. In fact, we were calling this a docu-horror at some point, but then people said, no, just say found footage so people know and they can identify instead of going, what the hell is a docu-horror? So, but yeah, we don't have that. You know, there was movies that were getting to the point found footage, like The Gallows, that really had ridiculous plots and bad acting, but they were scary. And we wanted to have all those boxes checked, where we took it to another level, where it's truly blurring the line between, is this real or not, which is cool.
And we were talking a little bit about editing that. I have very minimal editing training compared to you, being in news, but you want to make it a clean cut. This was different than that when you were editing with Found. How was that for you?
It was cool. I mean, I usually try to edit like kind of to like a rhythm, and for this piece, I really wanted to kind of like edit more on the offbeat, where like you don't expect there to be an edit there, and so it kind of like makes people jump a little bit more, you know, just to have those kind of like off edits. Yeah.
That's important in the horror films, to get them to jump.
Yeah. It is.
That's what sure. We might do a little jumping, or I might even scream myself, because we're going to the cemetery where the suspected Jack the Ripper is resting, I guess you could call it.
Well, the last time we were there, we lost a couple crew people, and so who knows?
Yay, it'll be great. So we'll see you in about a half an hour over at the cemetery, you guys.
Or will we see her? You got to stay with us to find out.